G'day, Steve here, Woodworking Masterclass. And as you can tell, the shed's a bit of a mess, but I'm down here doing some videos for later on, standalone videos. And I just had to do some intros and outros, and I'm just trying to get the cameras worked out. I just found my GoPros, so I've actually gone and set my GoPros up. So now, when I go over to the chat, I'll show you. See, I can actually come over here and go like that, and I can talk to you and read the chat, which hopefully is going to be a good thing down the track. Oh, but I'm just seeing if everything's working, and that camera's not straight. Been busy doing a lot of things, which has been fun, but has taken me away from this part of the workshop that's really annoying me, having an uneven camera over there. So I will bring you up to speed to what's been going on and what I've got planned in the future and everything else. Oh, I had all the cameras up in the machining shed. That's why I don't know if that's in the middle or not. I suppose it is. We'll give it a go. I'm getting messages over here. There you go. Oh, and look, see now I can go over here and say, "G'day Jared, g'day Chad, how are you?" Oh dear, it's good. Things are actually working. Now I don't know why that's down there. G'day Louise, how are you? See, look, I'm looking there, but I occasionally look up there to see what's going on. Oh, what's going on now? I don't know why I'm not getting full thing there, but that's all right. We shall work it out. Hang on, change cameras back now. Come over here. I'm seeing it. Why isn't it coming up on this one? I've just got to find out why this one's not working. Ah, dear. Oh, there you go. I'm live. I've got my tablet. I don't need to do that, so let me just turn that down. I've got my tablet down here that I've now got Wi-Fi through a router that I've got. Not that sort of router that bites your fingers off down there. So I'm all high tech now. It's I've got 4 cameras, the GoPro, this one, and that one. And I can also see it on my tablet, which I haven't been able to do before. So what's going on? Well, I've done my back in. I don't know how. That's why I haven't been doing too much for the last 5 weeks or so. I have got no idea what it is, so I've just been resting it. But you can only rest for so long before you get to the stage where, no, you just want to, oh, look, I've got this here. G'day, Keith. How are you? Breaking up here. Yeah, it's most likely rotten connection. Telstra, what can I tell you? It's one of those things that I can't guarantee how the stream goes. The best I can do is turn up and have a chat. What did I get up to? Yes, so I've been making harps, but I've had this huge dilemma of how to make the pins, and I thought I brought one down with me, but I didn't. It's up in the machine shed. So finally, after about 4 weeks, I worked out how to turn these brass tapers, and I'm pretty happy with them. I'm waiting for one more piece of equipment to come, and then I can turn them without any drama. So I've been introducing myself to the milling machine. I've got a couple of videos that are ready to go, which I'll put up either tomorrow or Thursday, of me using, I think I'm using the milling machine, setting up a vise on the milling machine, which is a Viva vise. There were some comments before when I did that knob video that people said the vise was a bit of an overkill on a drill press, and you're right, it was. It's a machining vise, not a drill press vise, but I didn't have the milling machine. But now I've got the milling machine, I could actually fit that vise, and I'll show you how I do that. I do a quick tour on another video, I think, of the machining shed, which is basically the wood turning shed, but I've taken over one side for machining. And then I do a little bit, I don't show you the whole process, but I show you a billet of aluminium that I made out of some horseshoes and start turning that on the lathe. So later on I'll take the cameras up and I'll show you how I'm actually making my own billets and round stock by melting old bits of brass and aluminium. So that's brass stock and aluminium, not mixing the two together. Although you can get brass aluminium. I believe it's something like 10% brass to aluminium and you get this goldy colour. Haven't tried it myself, so I don't know. The other thing I'm going to do a video on is this joint here. If I can go over to this one. And with harps, the big problem is the weakest joint. This is what I've discovered. Let's see if I can, oh, that'll do. This isn't the right set, but the weakest joint is between where the neck and the pillar meet, and in a lot of cases, that's how it's done. It's either done with a dowel or a mortise and tenon, or a solid mortise and tenon, which means you don't actually cut the tenon, you use the pillar as a tenon and it goes right up inside the neck. And then that eventually, because you've got 900 pound or 1200 pound of pressure when the strings are done up, it will weaken eventually over time, and the neck tends to bend in the direction the strings are going. I saw a harp the other day a friend of mine had, and I went to have a look at that, see how it was made. And when I looked down the neck had actually bent and twisted that way. I don't think they noticed, so it wasn't up to me to tell them. But yeah, it had bent and twisted. So I've put my woodworking, fine furniture making skills to work and thought, well, the best way I can do that is if I can brace it. There is another harp on the market that I have seen, and I was really impressed with the construction. What they've done, they've got a straight pillar, not a curved one, and it's actually butted up against the neck. And I haven't pulled it apart, but I would imagine either dowels or big screws have gone through to hold that neck steady. And he's covered it up by putting extra face plates on the top of the pillar to fatten it out, give it a bit of style, but I think primarily it's to hide the fact that there's big screws or bolts in there, which is fine. But what I came up with and I thought would be nicer was if I get, it's a mouthful. Let's see if I can get this little thing happening in here too. There you go. It's a mouthful, but it's this joint here. It's a housed, stopped, tapered sliding dovetail. Yeah, that's a mouthful. And it took me quite a while to figure out how to do it, because most of it, it's about 50-50. Some of it's done with machinery and some of it's, the finer fitting is actually done with hand tools. So I will do a video and show you how to do this, because you might find one day you have a situation and you're going to need a sliding dovetail. Sliding dovetails on bookcases are great, because what you do then is you get the shelf and the cheek or the gable of the bookcase, and you put a dovetail in there, and then the socket in the cheek, and then the dovetail on the shelf, and it slides in and then locks. And it has to be tapered, because if it's 100% fit, it just will not, it'll jam. So it's got to be wider at the end that it's going in and narrower on the shelf itself. So I'll show you in this, not the video I'm going to make, how to set that up. It only has to be a 1/16 of an inch or 1.5 mil, and it's enough. So with this one, it has to be bigger. It has to be, let me change cameras again. I might have to bring that control panel down here. I guess, let me see what I want. I want that one there. And that one there. There you go. So this one really has to come down about this far when I'm actually doing it. So what you do first of all, I've been drinking coffee again, is work out the thickness that you're going to be putting in there, and then house that part out, and then take away a lot of the middle. You can throw a dovetail bit straight in there, but you're asking your router to do a lot of work. So I don't. I house that out and then rebate this, or I might rebate this first and then house it out later, I don't know. And then you've got to put the dovetail in, and then you've also got to put a tapered dovetail in there. That's what caused me the problems working that out, because you've got to think, and I'm not real good at doing that. And then the dovetail is exactly the same. You remove the waist off the shoulders, and actually I can see that, so I don't know if you can see it. It actually is tapered. You can see it only on one side. It's thinner down here. This side's parallel, but then it's thinner down here and wider here, and that's your taper. That has to marry up to the taper in the socket. So there's a lot of thinking and what have you. And when it goes in, it shouldn't go all the way in, right? It'll go that far, and then that last bit, I actually have to seat it home, and it will not move. What that's going to do, it'll stop this part from bending or moving, and also will eliminate what I was talking about before with the crack that happens here. So I have been busy. I have been busy. Oh dear, let me go up this. This is something I promised I was going to do for someone as well. So oh, look at this, that's not coming through. I've got all this over here. I've been looking at my tablet and there hasn't been anyone talking. I've just come over to the computer. Heaps of people are chatting, so I'm not talking to myself. Where do we get that? Keith, Woodworking, g'day Andy, how are you? Mate, if my back was better, I'd be superb. Vince, g'day. Bracing for a hurricane. Wow, take it easy, Chad, make sure you're batting down. G'day Steve, from Virginia. G'day from Brisbane. Nathaniel, g'day mate, I hope you got all your jobs done and your washing machine's working better now too. Tam, I'm glad to see you, Steve. Yeah, it's good to be back down here, it really is. Thoughts on Japanese woodworking tools? Been thinking of trying something different for fun. Yeah, Joey, look, I have no problem whatsoever with the saws. I love the Japanese saws. I love the hammers. Yeah, their planes are okay, but I guess I'm used to Harold and Saxon, not Harold and Saxon, he makes the chisels. H&T Gordon planes. Their chisels, I'm not a big fan of their chisels, but that's only because I'm used to the Western chisel, I suppose. So, you know, horses for courses. I do love the concept of working the way they do traditional woodworking on the knees. That's going to take the strain out of your back, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, give them a go. And you most likely you'll find some of those tools that you like and some that you don't like, and some Western ones you like, and you can replace them with Japanese ones. Who knows? It's all woodworking, it's all fun, it's all creative. Now what do we got? G'day Brenda, where did you sneak in? Did I say hello Brenda? G'day Brenda. I've got to move that camera up, isn't it? Because you can see my eyes flicking up to where I might have. Don't know. I'll have a look, see if I've got a bracket for that. G'day Paul from Florida. How many test joints did you do beforehand, Steve? Vince, truly, honestly, none. But I didn't do any test joints, but I sat down for a long time, and I think it took me nearly 3 hours to make that one. But now I know the process, and I'll happily share it in the next standalone video. And it's just, there's something else that it reminded me of. It just messes with your head, but once you understand it, and that's the other reason I'm doing the video, it's because then when I forget how I did it, I'm going to have a video up there. And you people thought I was doing it for you. There you go. Yeah, because it's a lot of in-feed and a lot of reverse in-feed on the router, and also the challenge of getting the taper, but I think I've sussed that out. All good though, all good. And took me a lot, I think, nearly 4 metres of round stock to work out how to do the tapers. But when I'm just waiting for a stepped live centre, and then I'll do a video of that up in the metalworking shed and show you how I do those. I've decided I'm going to do a full TV show. For those of you in Melbourne and Adelaide, it'll be on there. So that's the plan for October, November, doing a 6-part series on making a harp. I'm excited about that. Where are we? Oh, yeah, they will be, Andrew. How's your new place? You settled in all right? You got everything unpacked? I was talking to Theo yesterday too. He's excited. I'm actually working on the music stands. Oh, dear. I use sliding dovetails for shoe benches. Is that working on shoes like a cobbler, or you mean storage in a wardrobe? Damn. Still love a Stanley plane. Well, what size do you want? Keith, let me know. Or where are you? That's the other thing. If you want a number 4, I can organise that really easy. That's about it. No, what I've got to do, what have we got? Schaefer's Arts, good to see you live. Well, hello. It's good to be here. It's good to be here. I said when I left, I just fed the chooks on the way down, and Sue said to me, "You be careful, you be good." She can't, she's got a bung shoulder. She just had to have some, what do you call that stuff? Cortisone. Yeah, so she's not a happy girl at the moment, but I'm steering away from that on my back, I hope. Vince, I struggle to cut a straight line with a Japanese pull saw. Actually, I find it's easier, honestly, to cut with a Japanese saw than a Western saw, because pulling towards you, you'll actually get a straighter line than pulling away from you. Anyway, there's something I've promised someone I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it now. I'm telling you now, this is not sponsored. I'm not getting paid for this. This happened, and I was pretty ticked. But I just want to give huge pats on the back to a great Aussie company that went beyond and above the call of duty. And I'll tell you the story on the other camera. So everything's all good. G'day, Jerry. How are you, mate? Lovely to see you. Good to hear the washing machine's working as well. That's nice. And I forget what you would... Oh, yeah, your wax job, Nathaniel. Looks good. Looks good. Nathaniel's been keeping me up to date with some projects he's been doing, and he's doing very, very well. Okay, I'm going over the main camera, and I'm going to do this now. So this is straight from the heart. Okay. Now, the other day... Ouch, ouch. That works. I told you I had a crook back. I don't know why my chat's not working there, so I'll just get rid of that. All right. Is that... I've got to get rid of those captions on whatever you call it, the GoPro. All right. That's something to work on. That's something to work on. All right. The other day, and I apologise that this I said I would do last week, but honestly, I was flat on my back last week. I could barely move. So now is the time to do it. Here's the story. Susie went to the supermarket, and that used to be my all-time favourite drink. But if you see there, it says no sugar. So I thought, oh, no sugar, because this is me, okay, I think differently. It's going to be really rugged because it's got no sweetness, so it's going to be the pure taste of ginger. And I opened it, and as you can see, I took a drink from it, and no, it is no sugar, but they had a replacement sweetener in it, which might appeal to some people, but it did not appeal to me. And I was pretty darn ticked off. So I rang up the Woodworking Ginger Company, which is about 140 k's north of where I am. And I was nice about it. And I just said, look, I'm not too happy about this ginger beer. And they said, what would you like us to do? I said, well, I'd love you to send me another bottle of the full strength stuff. And look, we're talking $4, or might be $5. I don't know, I don't do the shopping. So it's not earth-shattering, but to me, it was a principle. And if I got a principle, I do stick by him. As my son says, he has low standards, but even low standards are standards. So I rang up Woodworking Ginger and expressed my dismay at what I felt was being tricked into buying something. And they said, what would you like us to do? I said, oh, I'd love you to send me another bottle. And they said, oh, well, we're not sure if we can do that. And I said, well, the thing is, I thought it was going to taste a lot better than it did, and I'm not used to diet drinks. I didn't enjoy the taste at all. So I've got to show you, where is it? Here we go. 2 days, I haven't even opened it. 2 days later, so I don't even know what's in it. They might send me the same bottle. This arrived in the mail, and I was talking to the lovely young lass up there that organised this. Danny, if you're watching, priceless. I reckon you should be able to get an afternoon off. This arrived in the mail, and this is live stream, so I hope it's the right stuff. And let me see. Look at that. Look at that. You got to see it. Right, here we go. This is what it is all about. That's the one I know, I love. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And check it out. I got some Woodworking Ginger thrown in, and there is a note which I will read. Dear Steve, please find enclosed your replacement bottle of ginger refresher. I've also popped in some ginger beers. Oh, they're bears, are they? How good's that? Ginger beers for you to try. I hope you like them. Thank you again for sharing your feedback. We really appreciate it. Kind regards, Danny. Danny, you're a star. Well, what's the latest thing? You're a goat. Greatest of all times. There you go. So, thank you. I'll give them a plug. I don't care. If you like ginger taste, you cannot beat that. It has got to be the best refreshing drink I've ever had. And I've been drinking it for years. What do, I just mix it up with coffee, put a little bit more than they recommend because I like the strong ginger taste. Put soda water in it, give it a bit of a stir, and yowza, I'm happy. Hang on, I'm going to try one of these ginger beers now too. And I'm letting the grandkids near them because they'll... Yeah. Oh, look at that, look at that. The little gummy bears. I don't know if you can buy these in the shops or what. There you go. Look at that, a little pack of the gummy bears. All right, so we'll get close up of my face if I like them. Hey, they're all right too. They're the chewy like gummy bears. Whoa. Well, definitely got the real ginger taste. No sugar in it too. My teeth like that. Or I'd share them with all of you, but there's not enough, so I'm going to have them later on. So there you go. I promised I would do that. And when I've stopped streaming, I shall ring the young lass up and tell her 'tis done. But honestly, I mean, I don't know what the cost of that would be. Most likely, I don't know. Don't even know the cost of postage. I'd say posting it cost more than what it costs to produce the bottle. But by looking after one person, I don't know how many people are going to go out and try this now. Oh, those bears, the more you chew them, the gingerier they get. But it was so nice to ring up, and I wasn't rude, but just let someone know you're not happy with their product and they go the extra mile to look after you. So, Woodworking Ginger, 2 thumbs up. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one, but I know what I'm going to do with this one. And I'm going to drink it. So there you go. I'll give him another one. Budrum Ginger, top, Sunshine Coast, Queensland. I don't know if they still do. They used to have tours through the factory. So anyway, I'm happy. Now, let me see. What else are we going to do? I've got to finish the music stands. I know I've got to do that. I'm nearly sweating with that. That's nice. Hang on, I'll go over and have a chat. We'll see what's going on over here. Oh, there we go. 80 planes. You're beating me, Keith. Whoa. Yeah, Jared, 31 down in Geelong. Can I play the harp? No. I can't even play the spoons. But I do know about woodwork, and I've got some friends who play the harp extremely well. So it's going to be a collab. I'll build them, and they can play them. Try and move back a bit. I've got this camera right up in the back. Oh! Don't turn around like that, you sausage. Hang on, let me just move this out of the way. There you go. That's better. Now, where are we up to? Louise, I love Bud. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm coming to your place. Oh, where are we? Storage near the front door left. Oh, right. Gotcha. That's where your shoe rack is. Good stuff. Getting there, Steve, had last stop for a while, I hope. Said, oh, no. That's not a kidney stone, mate. That's a boulder. I love it when you get little kidney stones. They call it gravel. Good on you. Plain old woodworking. G'day, mate. How are you? It's lovely for you to catch me live. It's nice to have you in the chat room. G'day, Ray. Fun place, the Ginger Factory beer, where you went there into. I think you go. They still do that. Oh, I love ginger beer. It's got to be the nicest. I'm telling you. Oh, love ginger. I have no sugar. One diabetes. Yeah, those beers are still nice. I'm telling you. Yeah, it does. But I like the full strength. You know me, Louise. Full strength coffee. None of this decaffeinated rubbish. I want crumpets with butter dripping off them and jam drizzling down my wrist whilst I'm eating them. All right. So, what have I got? Whoops. Okay, so that's all. I'll have to change that camera, won't I? Does anyone want to see anything while I'm here? And don't say finish the music, Andy, and stop laughing because I can hear you from here. Because that's, I think, is that all I've got to do? I think that's nearly. I found the GoPros the other day. That's why I've got that one up there that I can talk to when I'm doing chat room, which is good. What else? Yeah, so over the coming weeks or months, I'm going to be bringing woodworking, metalworking together because there is a lot of woodworking that involves metalwork. And now I've taken the plunge and got the metalworking machines. It's going to be fun because I can make my own handles, brass handles or what have you. And I was watching, if you like blacksmithing work, Black Bear Forge, John Switzik, I think his name is. Yeah, something like that. John Black Bear Forge. Brilliant work. I've got a guy coming up, he wants to make a coat stand. Actually, we might do it even if he doesn't come up. Out of horseshoes. And what it is, you've got a horseshoe and then you get another horseshoe, cut it in half and weld it to one horseshoe. So you've got a horseshoe like that with half a horseshoe coming out there. And I've got a gorgeous piece of fiddleback camphor laurel that I'll mount it on. And we were going to screw it on. I thought, oh, that looks a bit ordinary. And I was watching John's channel the other day when I was laid up. The hot water bottles all around me, pillows everywhere. Oh, it's terrible. And he was showing how to antique new fasteners because nearly everything you buy now, if it's not brass, well, even now, mainly it's brass plated, or it's zinc plated. So how to get the zinc off, and then how to make these coach bolts look old. And yeah, terrific. So I'll be doing some of that. As I said, we make handles. I want to have a go at making strap hinges. I do want to do, I've got a few jobs to do first, but I want to do an old seaman's chest and blacksmith the straps for that and put the rivets in. So that's something else. I don't know. I think that's what else have I got to do? I can tidy that bench off there. And I know if I keep on doing it much longer, Sue's going to come down and go. Which means I'll have to go. No, that's it. I will say, with the last couple of videos I've put up, Viva has given special prices on some things that I've used that they sell. And I've had a couple of people saying the links don't work. The links do work, but they will take you to their full price. And it's not until you actually go into the checkout, you won't get charged until you say pay now or whatever. But you've got to actually go as far as the shopping crate or shopping cart and go in to the payment, and then you can put the code in, whatever the code is, and when you click that, then all the prices change and there's free shipping and that. So if anyone's stuck on that, give it another go and try that. If you do get stuck, just drop me a message, I'll see what I can do. I have been told that they run out of these routers. They all got sold, so that was good. A friend of mine, he teaches, and yeah, his students all got on to get one, and yeah, they sold out. So there you go. What else have we got? Because I did ask a question, so give us a look. Michael, Steve, after you opening on the video trim router, I purchased one. When it arrived, the straight brace adjustment was broken. I sent an email off now 4 weeks, still no reply. Okay, leave it with me, and I will ask them about that. Was it in that name, Michael Christophers? Because I'll send a copy of this to them and we can get something sorted out. Okay. All right. Oh, you didn't see that. I'm sorry, I'm over here and I forgot to press the button. So yeah, Michael, as soon as I sign off, I've got to send an email off. So I will take a copy of your message and I'll send it in. Who's going to sort out all your tools when you... Mate, I've already retired. Why do you think I've got so many tools? I couldn't do this if I had a full-time job. It's going to be fun, isn't it? They're going to walk... What the hell man buy this for? What would you use that for? I tell you what, I'm going so native down the rabbit hole. I've actually going to buy a slide rule, because sometimes my phone, I haven't got my phone and I use the calculator on the phone, but I need something just to have a slide rule there. I'm going to have to learn how to do it again, but it's great. It gets the whole grey matter going. Showed it to my grandsons the other day. So that's the slide rule. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a calculator without batteries. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be fun. And even with the, what do you call it? The lathe, the metal lathe, because I'm really old school. And when I was taught to use a lathe, we had to grind our own lathe bits on none of this CBN or diamond wheels or aluminium oxide or ceramic. It was the old-fashioned brutal 40 grit grey grinders. You know, they'd throw gravel in your face when you used them. But what I'm finding now, which is interesting because I'm looking at a lot of different metalworking videos, they've got these new tools and they've got tips, and you buy the tips. Well, that's all very well and good, but the tips end up costing you a bit of money when you go through them. And you might need something like I needed a shape for a particular thing. And, you know, by the time I jumped in the car and drove somewhere to go and buy it, there's $20 worth of petrol gone, 4 hours of my day's gone, and when I come home I won't feel like doing it. But just grab a bit of 12mm square high-speed steel going over the grinder, grind, bang, you're back in business. So I think there's a lot, us old fellas or ladies, doesn't matter, we know some stuff. We've forgotten a lot, but we still know some stuff. And as much as it's great to embrace technology, I had a talk with a friend, I think it was yesterday, and you know, these checkouts, the trouble is you don't have to think anymore. Well, I want to think. I want to be able to figure stuff out. I don't want to be given the answer. And there's another guy who's got a YouTube channel called Mr. Pete. And he's a very knowledgeable guy. And I just love listening to him. And he pulled this book out the other day. He said, now I use this as a reference book. And it was how to simply use a lathe or something. 1942, got straight onto eBay, found a copy. It's brilliant because it tells you how it was done. What's that, 60, 80 years ago? Crikey, doesn't that sound terrible, 80 years ago? And it's still relevant today. It will still work today. But if you get something that's Bluetooth or it's an app, Wi-Fi, yes, it works fine now, but if, as happened recently, our internet went out for, it was about 3 hours. The kids thought they were going to die. You know, you're stuck. You can't work. Whereas if you know easier ways, not easier ways, but manual ways of doing things, you can still get on. A classic case, this happened the other day too. Susie, the friends came round, or someone came round to buy some eggs, and Sue went to deliver them and what have you, and she said, I'm going to make some pastry, and I've never made pastry before. And that was a bit strange to Susie because she makes pastry every second day. Oh, she said, I'll show you how to do it. Oh, okay. And, you got a Kenwood or, you know, a mix master? No. Oh, have you got a whisk? No. Oh, have you got a blender? No. Oh, have you got any flour? Oh, yeah, I've got some flour. You got a wooden spoon? Yeah. Sue made a bowl of apple pie pastry in a bowl with a wooden spoon and her hands. And this person was absolutely amazed that you could do that. I think it's Mike Rowe, got a lot of time for Mike Rowe, Dirty Jobs and what have you. Yeah, he's saying it's about time they started teaching trades. Now, I'm not knocking anyone that's been to university, anyone's got degrees or academia, anything like that. I think that's fantastic. But I don't think it should take, I'm starting to get a rant here, aren't I? I don't think it should take precedence or have the inverted snobbery over someone that works with their hands. If you work with your hands, you can do stuff. A lot of people can think about stuff and a lot of people can analyse stuff, but when push comes to shove, I don't want theory, I want practical applications, thanks very much. And I'm going to stop it there because I'm going to get myself into trouble otherwise. But yeah, I mean, if there's any young people watching this, the first question is, why are you watching an old guy? But the other thing is, learn how to do things with your hands. And it doesn't matter if you don't use that skill straight away, but it gives you building blocks to work on. And then you get this real great feeling of satisfaction. You might do something and it's not perfect. Spoon carving. Spoon carving is very big at the moment. A friend of mine, she's in Tasmania now, Carol Russell. She does the most elegant, gorgeous spoons you've ever seen. But she also does functional spoons. Another mate of mine, Dave, he makes little salt spoons, and he sits there with a pocket knife and makes them. And people go, well, what would you sell that for? Oh, $20. But it took you 2 hours to make. But that's not the point. He's not doing it to make money. He's doing it because he's learning how to do something. Actually, it's up in the shed now. We were, it's a video, I think. There was a Record Power video we did, Theo and I and Mike Davies from Record Power went out bush, and Theo turned a bowl and I made a spoon, and we could eat our food. And that was just out of trees that were lying around. So yeah, get in there and, yeah, look, I know I've got, and I'm rambling, I've got to get the word out, but I've got a heap of tools. I've got more machines and hand tools than I could poke a stick at. In reality, do I need them all? No. Do I use them all? Yes, mostly. But do I need to use them all? Honestly, no. I could get by with a lot of things. If you only could have one saw in your workshop, get yourself a bandsaw. If you could only have one plane in your workshop, get yourself a number 5. And a block plane. Yeah, even I would take a block plane over a number 5, I think. If you only needed one chisel, get yourself a 1/2 inch chisel, because there's not much you're going to do that's less than 1/2 inch, but a 1/2 inch will do 1 inch or 1.5 inches. If you've got to get yourself a good saw, get a rip saw, because a rip saw you can use as a crosscut saw, and you can also rip with it. Very hard to use a crosscut saw when you're ripping. And just things like that. But see, you get a project and see what's the smallest amount of tools you need to make that particular thing. I was making something on the lathe the other day, and I used about 8 different chisels. And when I thought about it, I got away with 2 chisels. So it's not being minimalistic. I am ranting, aren't I? It's not being minimalistic. What it is working out what you can actually get by with, and then, if you've got more, enjoy what you've got. I'm not saying don't get more tools. Don't get more timber. I'm fine one to talk there. But work out what you need, because we get seduced into this belief that we need the latest gadgets. We need the latest thing in woodwork. We need the latest thing in the kitchen. We need the latest thing to help us with our daily lives. Truth is, no, I think Susie's got the newest car we've got. That's a 2004. No, I tell a lie, I've got a ute that's 2007. I've also got a ute that's 1991, and I've got an MX-5 that's 1991. And if it breaks down, guess what? I can fix it. Case in point, my son's got a Mazda 3. I had to go and get a socket for a brake light. It took me 3 visits to the dealership, 10 days waiting, got the wrong one, and then had to go and get another one. In reality, I could have jimmied it up with a bit of alfoil and super glue. So, you know, we can get by with a lot less. But I'm going to go over the chat room, then I'm going to wind up, because I'm starting to dribble. Here we go. Am I on? Oh, there I am. Yes, it was. Okay, I'll do that. That Christopher, I'll ring him up. Keith, is that a number 8 hanging up? Yes, Keith, that's a number 8, and I've also got a number 8 over there in the shelf. The number 8 in the shelf is a Stanley. The number 8 up there on the wall is a Lee Nelson. Interesting fact, and it is a fact. I don't know if it's meant to be, but I've done it, and it's a fact. You get the Stanley plane, it doesn't work for 5s, but if you get the Stanley planes, and I've got a number 1 through to a number 8, that is how much they weigh. A number 1 weighs 1 pound, a number 2 weighs 2 pounds, a number 3 weighs 3 pounds, a number 4 weighs 4 pounds. Gets scattered on the 5s, because you've got a 4.5. I haven't weighed one of those, but I imagine it'd be 4.5. A 5 1/4, a 5 and a 5 1/2, they throw it out the window. But then a 6 weighs 6 pounds, a 7 weighs 7 pounds, and a number 8 weighs 8 pounds. But that Lee Nelson weighs 10 pounds, and it is gorgeous. I love it. Anthony, Lee Nelson Australia, if you're watching, mate, I do, I love it. Oh, playing the woodworking, if you see that I have like 5, keep them. Yes, I reckon they're great. And I don't know, it takes me back to school. Not much I can remember that I enjoyed at school, but using the slide rule was one. Well, I reckon we could run classes. People would be amazed. Schaefer Arts, couldn't agree with you more. Love learning. It's true. Red, no dishwasher was mentioned. No dishwasher at the moment. Here you go. Dishwasher at the moment is full of preserving jars because when I finish here, Susie's bought about 15 kilos of tomatoes we're going to cut up and put in preserving jars. So all of those are in the dishwasher. So I don't have a gripe with the dishwasher today, Andy. Oh dear. So agree, hands are best skills. Absolutely. So I've absolutely been doing wood for 10 years, but leather for 20. Now it's a life goal to have everything I make have another. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Oh, yes, hollows and rounds, I love them. I've got a set of Mathesons there, but then, as most of you know, Terry Gordon's a mate of mine. I've got a lovely set of H&T Gordons, which I will be using, and which I also use the H&T Gordon slide rebates for refining that dovetail in that, I'll see if I can get it right, house stopped tapered sliding dovetail. There you go. And I'll show you all that on the video. G'day, Earl. Yeah, you're just coming in on the end of it. But hello anyway. Good to have you with us, mate. Notice I've got a new camera. I can now talk while I'm on the chat. Got some more refining to do. Yeah, I've noticed that, Keith. If I don't open the workshop up, I seem to have a lot more tools when I come down here. I think it's to do with the dark. Yeah, but it doesn't matter, Andy. If you can't fix them, you know how to fix them, so you can guide someone else to fix them. That's the great thing about it. Well, there you go, Schaefer. Could be an opening you never thought of. 8 ghosts. I'm 37, too old to start learning wood. Oh, 37, you're too old to learn woodwork. Give me a break, please, in all honesty. 8 ghosts. All right. I forget how old I was when I started. I was nearly 40 when I started doing what I'm doing now. Blacksmithing, I'm 67 now. I would have been 60, maybe 62 when I started doing blacksmithing. I wish I'd started earlier because those anvils are heavy. The number of times you've been around the sun has no bearing whatsoever on what you want to achieve in life. So there you go, 8 ghosts. If you want a motivational talk, that's it. You're never too old. I think Susie was, she would have to have been, she was hang on, 80, 93, I'm just working out 20. Yeah, Susie would have been in her 40s when she took up making quilts. So there you go. You're never too old to have a crack. I've never started making harps. I only started making harps maybe 4 months ago, and I haven't finished one yet. So there you go, 67, and I decided I was going to start making harps. And it was a good friend of mine that got me onto musical instruments, and I can't play a musical instrument. And I'm going to have a coffee with him this afternoon. Bill. He said, about time you started building musical instruments. I said, why? He said, you're too old to be lugging. He's an American chap. He said, you're too old to be lugging big 2x4s around, or 4x2s around, whichever way they say it. He said, get into musical instruments, which I did, but the bad side is now you can't throw anything away because that can make a bridge or that can make a nut. So now I'm getting more and more fabric. So don't let that stop you, 8 ghosts. Off to bed. Good night, Chad. Stay safe, mate. Hope that hurricane passes you by. Haven't got an 8 yet, but we'll eventually Got a few, yeah, Norrises are nice. I don't have any Norris planes, but they look absolutely gorgeous. I think they're nice. It goes, I started, you've got to enjoy it. So that's it. All right, let me change this. Oh, do you know the other day, with my back, isn't it funny? Pain just does weird things to you. I came down here and did the end of a video, which I'll post in the next couple of days, and I forgot my tag. It was, the sign off was, well, that's it. Yeah, no, I've finished this to Steve saying goodbye. Anyway, the next day I came down, I was feeling better, and I went, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. This is Steve, Woodworking Masterclass, pulling the shed door down and saying, remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe, stay out of high wind areas. Look after yourselves, be kind to each other. And I look forward to having your company in the workshop, at the workbench, again very, very soon. Till then, good night, good morning, good afternoon. God bless. Catch you later. That's what I said, and that's what I meant. And thanks everyone for joining in. Look forward to having you and your company again soon. Bye for now. Oh,